Whee! Okay, the sealed cave. Wow. It's like, kinda looks like the Wendell Coast, except it's a little bit different, and actually it's a lot different because, well, the cave here is not as forgiving as the one in close to the Wendell Coast. So I'm going to save real quick because I want to make sure that we don't have any problems here. And now we're going to move into the cave. Since this is... Whoa. I didn't think there'd be these guys out here. But yeah, we're being attacked by zombies now! Actually, these are ghouls, I think. Or, are they zombies? Yeah, they're ghouls. Basically, since this is going to be another dungeon crawl... Oh, and by the way, this is what it looks like when you have the 8 spirits all on the screen at once. I'm not going to show you what it does yet, though. You guys will have to wait until a little later. I just gotta be careful of what I do here in order to make sure that I don't accidentally use it before this. Since this is another dungeon crawl, I'm going to have just kind of talk about, you know, random stuff, I guess. Whoa! Get out of here, you crazy. There we go. So, what was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about work. Work was alright. Actually, at this point, I was hoping to do this video yesterday so that I could kind of talk about it a little bit more. Get out of here. But work yesterday was alright. You know, it's really that point in the season when... No, I don't want to do that. It's really that point in the season where work is well and away dead for the most part, so there wasn't too much to do. However, the people that came into the store yesterday were, well, I don't want to say sketchy, but a little bit weird. They were very, I guess you would say touchy-feely, about stuff for no real apparent reason. Like, for example, this is not meant as an insult or anything like that, but there were these two gay guys that were in the store, and being a straight guy, I don't know if this had anything to do with it, with what happened, but they were very rubby, I guess you could say. They were kind of invading my personal space while I was helping them with picking out clothes. Unfortunately, I didn't get to help them, so I think they were pissed at me when we were all finished with what we were doing there. But whatever, I can't help all the customers, you know? Oh, great. Shadow Zero ripoffs. Oh, wow. They died really fast. I didn't expect that. These are Shadow Zeds, I think? But regardless, they die pretty quick now since Elena's Wisps are fully upgraded. Which way am I going here? I'm going this way. Okay. Oh. This was the room that I was thinking of. Did I kill everything else in this room? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. This room spawns 2 Kaiser mimics up there on that ledge. So what you want to do, since we're trying to get the coin collection all done, you want to come over here. As you can see, Duke is reacting to the treasure chest because they are evil! And you want to kill off these Kaiser mimics as the last enemies that you kill off on the screen. What this will do is that this will allow you to reap their treasure chests a little bit easier. And if I remember correctly, Kaiser mimics don't cause you to need to they don't need you to, I don't know why, I just lost my train of thought there for a second. But they don't require you to go through the treasure ring in order to access what they have. So what I want to do real quick, since I'm here, is I want to exit and re-enter this room a couple of times until I manage to get the last coin that I need from those guys, the wood coin. So I'm going to take care of that, and I will be right back in a matter of seconds. We have the wood coin! Alright, so let's continue here. Back to the whole story of the people that I met in the store. So, at one point, it was getting kind of dead in there, and there weren't too many people, you know, coming in at that point. It was like 7:30, and I mean, the store doesn't close until 9:20-ish. Actually, it's more like 9, we just clean up in the 20 minutes after. But it was kind of dead in there, so we were all just kind of hanging out. And so, oh god, room full of shadows. That's great. I love how I'm still getting level ups on Wisp, even though it's like level 30 something at this point. Wow, he's not dead. Oh, I must not have hit him. But anyway, so it's kind of dead in there, so we're just kind of all hanging out. All of a sudden, this guy walks by the store in the window, and he's wearing a penguin suit, like a full-blown, full-body penguin suit, just walking around nonchalantly in the middle of the mall, like, oh yeah, great. Now, this is the sealed cave, so there's obviously seals in this cave. In order to unbreak the seal from this on the cave, you need to throw these 5 switches. And now, once they are done, locked in a position like that, the seals will be broken. There's 5 seals, like I said, in the cave, so in order to proceed to the boss, you need to break all 5 of the seals. So let's throw this switch as well. That's why I came up here as opposed to going in that eastern entrance to that room, because if you go over here, you'll see that we ended up on that eastern side of the room that we were going into before, that had the Kaiser mimics up there, that are no longer there right now. But anyway, so Guy is walking around the mall that we're in, because the store that I work at is in a mall. And so he's just walking around the mall in a penguin suit, all like, oh, yeah, I'm in a penguin suit. Whatever, I don't care. So, the employees at my place of work are all like, oh my god, we have to go get a picture with this guy, it's so awesome. I'm like, okay, fine. So a couple of them got a picture with the penguin man. So then, I don't know if I was the only one who noticed this, or if a couple of, well actually, it was me and a couple of other guys working in the men's department noticed this. But later on, probably like 20 minutes later, we look out the window, and we see this girl walking around, walking past the store, and she has a penguin backpack, like, not a full-blown, like, bodysuit, but just like a backpack with a penguin face on it. I forget what company makes those, but it's some company in the mall that makes them, so she probably bought them from there. But regardless, she's walking around with a penguin backpack, so we're joking around, we're like, oh, that's probably the penguin man's girlfriend. So that was kind of a weird thing. Other than that, there was only one other weird thing, and I don't know how I feel about this. You guys, I guess you guys can kind of tell me how I should feel about this, but, there was this one woman. Oh, this is the Kaiser Mimic room. This is the room full of Kaiser Mimics. So if you haven't gotten a wood coin from them yet, which I have already, you can find a bunch of Kaiser Mimics in this room in order to get the coin from them. Let's throw this last switch. But there was this 30-something-year-old woman who came into the store, and she wanted to buy something for her boyfriend. So I'm like, okay, simple enough. It's a regular enough situation to the point where it's not, you know, it's not weird at this point. So but she's kind of like nonchalant about it, and she's well, I don't think nonchalant would be the right word. Lackadaisical. That's the word I'm looking for here. So she's kind of lackadaisical about this gift that she's getting for her boyfriend. So she's like, okay, he's a very boring person. So I'm like, okay. So she gets a couple of T-shirts. She ends up getting a couple of T-shirts for the guy and a pair of khakis for him. So the whole time she's complaining about how boring he is, and those were all 5 of the seals. Yep, those are all 5 of the seals. The whole time she's complaining about how boring of a person he is, and how she should have chosen the people better. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's just the people that she chose to hang out with, and blah blah blah. Why is Niccolo in here? Okay, whatever. So she's complaining about her choice in selecting him as her boyfriend, I guess. And then eventually, when the whole transaction is done and I'm done being, you know, a helpful sales associate, she says to me, you know, that mustache makes you look really sexy. Now remember, she's like 30-something years old. I was like, oh, thanks. Like, I don't really show I didn't really show my reaction because, well, I have a good poker face, so I have a tendency to be able to not, like, show that I'm kind of creeped out by this. But, So I was like, oh yeah, thanks. If you need any more help, just with you know, merchandise, just let me know. So she goes to the counter, and she pays for her stuff, and she leaves. But a 30-something-year-old woman telling me that my mustache makes me look sexy. I honestly can't tell you how that makes me feel. I mean, it was a compliment, so that was cool, but I mean, given consideration to her current situation with her boyfriend, I don't know what to take out of that. I don't know, maybe you guys know better than I do what that's supposed to mean. I don't know, but anyway, let's go inside of this place. This would be sealed if we hadn't hit all 5 of the switches, but it's not, so now we're going to head inside. So that was my day at work. It was relatively uneventful other than those 4 things. Oh, hello, what's this? Huh. Magical power. Maybe it has something to do with breaking the seal that we had to break in order to proceed here. Well then let's read it. None shall touch the relic seal. Those who do shall meet the scythe of the Gravekeeper of Darkness. Thank you, Han Solo. Thank you. Yeah, why not? How bad could it possibly be? Uh-oh. Ominous music. I dare, Mr. Blood Voice. I guess some of the ink from, or the rain from Malorus spilled into the ink of the text box here. Are you sure you want to do this, buddy? I mean, we just went on a hunt to make sure that Goremand wasn't going to show up and totally rip us to shreds here. So, I don't know if that would be a good idea. Yeah. Can't you help us with that? Oh, it's a test. Okay. I'll play your game. Oh, great. Another earthquake. Gee, we haven't seen enough of these lately, rather. Uh-oh. Boss music! And there's a spinning something or another running around. This is the Lich. He is remotely challenging. That scythe that he has there will spin at fairly long range, for a very large period of time, and will essentially keep you from getting very close to him. Meanwhile, he will send out will-o'-the-wisps to hurt you. Those little things here that are almost trying to kill me. Whoa, that was close. What you want to do is, this is another long-range boss fight, so use the bow if you're a melee character, or if you're in the case of Elena, I'm going to use Wisp. Don't worry, I will use the actual Wisp in a second, like the one that I was telling you about. So that's 2 hits, I need 6. That's 4, and 1 more should do. There we go. Wow, got another Wisp level up. I think it's like 33 now. But anyway, basically, in order to get the hidden attack, you need to get all 8 of the Wisps on the screen at once. Now, I'm not going to cast it until I hit this will-o'-wisp, because I don't want anything interrupting my cast here, because that would be freaking terrible. Interrupting one of the most powerful attacks in the game, that would be terrible. So anyway, once you get these on the screen, and you're not going to be obstructed by stupid will-o'-the-wisps, get the heck out of here. You can do this. Prism Sphere! Die! Look at the damage on that. That's like 2.5 to 3 times the normal damage I'd be getting from Wisp. So, it's definitely worth it. Haha! What'd you think of that, Spirit? Yeah, pretty good, aren't I? Well, thanks a bunch. I guess he can read our minds, because, yeah, that's what we're planning on doing. Aha! The key to the ruined path. And what is the key? The final spirit of the game. Shade. Yes, it is, Elena. Now this is a hint as for how you're supposed to break the seal on the ruined path. Goremand was giving you a hint, Bogard was giving you a hint, and now this is giving you a hint. Light without darkness, darkness without light, no such thing exists. They are essential opposites. So, I'll show you how to break the seal fairly soon. But, we'll get to that in a minute or two. A minute or two on the video, it'll probably be a few minutes before I manage to get back to the ruined path myself. But, we'll get to that. Well, yeah, it's just like Final Fantasy III. There's Warriors of Light, Warriors of Darkness. If you don't have both of them, then the world is unbalanced, and that leads to catastrophe. Okay. Sorry, I guess we'll stop disturbing your sleep. I like to think he has a vampire voice, kind of like Count Lee. Except it's very high-pitched, apparently. Maybe Shade is a girl. I mean, Wisp's a guy, but... On my master's life, I will assist you. Okay, sounds good. Shade is actually a fairly decently useful spirit. Not as useful as, say, Wisp, especially not as useful as Wisp, and probably not as useful as Undine or Dryad as offensive spells, but other than that, Shade is a pretty damn good spirit. If you're going to use Shade, and you're going to try to use the 8 Shade attack, which is, it's only available for the Necromancer job class, I think it's called. No, that's the Luna one. What's the job class called that has Shade? It's like... Is it Dark Shaman? Yeah, Dark Shaman. You can probably find an FAQ on GameFAQs that can tell you how to get the Dark Shaman. But if you're going to do the 8 Shade attacks class, this is where you can start getting the 8 Shades from. You have to get the first Shade here in the sealed cave area in order to gain access to the rest of the Shades. So now you can go and break the Dark Geode with Kaz. You can go get the other stuff from Florent. You can trade the Dark Coins with Florent for a spirit. You can do all that stuff. So now that's available to you if you want to take that road. I can't really help you with that road because I already have everything I need, but anyway, we've done a bunch. Well, I've done a bunch. I basically recorded the rest of the, probably at this point the previous episode today, as well as doing the sealed cave, so I've done a bunch of stuff today. So I think now would be a good time for me to end off this episode. I'll probably come back to this and record some more later, but for now, that's it for this episode of Sword of Mana. In the next episode, we will probably not actually go to the Ruined Passage yet. We still have, as I said before, a couple more side quests to finish before moving on. And basically, the reason why I'm not going to the Ruined Passage yet is because, well, if you don't finish these side quests before you go to the Ruined Passage, it's a very, very, very long walk to get back. If you even can manage to do that. So I want to finish these side quests within the next probably video or two. I'm going to say one video because, well, I don't have a time limit, but anyway. Now that that's all taken care of, this is probably just a bunch of, me bullshitting right now, so you probably don't need to hear me keep talking. That's it, I'm done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.